I don't... we'll see when we get there. I don't know if I'm ready to be that close to you yet, Sue. No offense.
No problem. Just offering it. Boys can be very complicated.
They are.
So they just seem to have a lot of extra things that's just very excessive. I don't know.
You know better than most. Yeah.
Like, do you actually need to have body hair in certain places? I just feel like it's not necessary.
Yeah. Too much hair on boys' bodies in general. I agree with you.
Sam had too much hair?
Never mind.
Well, now that my curiosity is piqued, we'll exchange notes later, I suppose. When we're closer. Not now.
It might take some time, but sure.
I mean, we already talk about, what did Lonic say? We already talk about Star's utter situation, so this can't be that much more of a stretch after that.
This is awkward for me. Okay. I will try, Sue. Just I'm still a 17-year-old ghost. But I'll get there.
Well, hopefully we'll fix that. In the meantime, I will go ahead and leave now that I've said my piece, and I will talk to you later. Bye!
Bye, Sue. And I shut the door really quickly.
Anybody who's noticing, by the way, as Sue, she's gonna sort of like cross past the living room, and as she crosses past the living room, she's gonna like lift up the rug and just check something under the rug, and then she'll put it back. And then she'll keep walking after she checks the rug. But eventually she's going to look for Lonic.
He's just kind of standing in a corner. He's not awake yet. He's still in sleep mode.
She's gonna go over to Lonic, and he's faded, right? He's
faded. He's like dimmed.
Okay. She's not completely 100% used to that, so she doesn't fully understand that you're sleep mode. So she'll just kind of call out, "Oh, Lonic, there you are!"
Good morning. Oh, sorry. Hello?
Oh, I'm sorry. Were you in deep thought? It looks like you were sort of in a trance there.
I was trying to dream.
Oh, anything nice?
Not really much that I think I could explain.
Fair enough. Well, your dreams are private properties of yours, so I'm not going to intrude then.
It's not that it's private, it's just that I don't know if I can explain it.
I mean, was it at least not a nightmare? Was it at least not a nightmare?
I don't know. I'm sorry, I don't have much information. I guess I could explain it by I was tumbling around a lot, and there were pies and candies and bitter senchis and bodies and just lots of weirdness that I couldn't... It was confusing.
Huh. That's strange. None of that sounds weird to me at all.
Huh.
That all seems perfectly normal to me.
Lonic is trying to remember his conversation with Sam from whenever he was first confronted. If you're going to be an Enigma Lotus, Lonic, you should at least... It's a flower in my world that's very rare, that even if you find it, it's even rarer to find one that's bloomed.
That sounds so cool. Lotuses are my favorite, she says.
Well, speaking of favorites, I know I told you yesterday that thinking that you were dead, it really messed me up. And I think, why is it always so hard to talk when I'm around you?
Really? I'd like to think people normally have an easy time talking to me.
No, you're not hard to talk to. It's me. I get all choked up and I don't understand.
That's weird. She says, you haven't eaten anything. I don't know why you'd be choking.
I like everyone here. I don't always have a reason for it. In Black Powder's world, I had a few reasons for not liking a few people, but I still did. But the whole time I was in Black Powder's world, one thought was on my mind. And it was what you as Veed said before you decided not to come. You said, I don't think I'd feel comfortable with that. I'm a hero. I'm supposed to help people.
Yeah, I remember that.
And I lost that. I lost that. I was so focused on trying to remember the words that I forgot to pay attention to what I was doing. And I think that's because even though I like everyone here, I think I really like you.
Oh, well that's so nice, Lonic. I like you too, she says. Very, casually. I like you too. You are the funniest person here, and I love somebody who can make me laugh.
I haven't felt very funny since we got back from Sam's world. It's been hard to joke about I'm really glad you didn't go to Black Powder's world, because I don't think you would like me if you had.
Why wouldn't I like you?
I was a soldier there. I just followed orders. I just listened to input and I performed. If Black Powder had told me to kill one of the crew members, I wouldn't have even thought about it. Luckily, it didn't come down to that, but I would have. And
Really? I don't know. I don't believe that.
And Lonic finally locks eyes with Sue. I don't want you to get hurt. I don't want anybody to get hurt, but you especially. I need to make sure that you're safe, and my world can be dangerous. It's fun, but there are cracks everywhere that you can fall down in and not come back out of.
Well, first of all, that's really sweet, thank you. I wouldn't want anyone else, including yourself, to get hurt either. And, well, you say that your world is dangerous. Do you have a crazy strong maniac with a weed whacker chasing you everywhere in your world?
That sounds kind of like residents not good people.
Right. Because if I have to admit, Tori's world kind of kicked our butt as well. And from what it sounded like, in terms of sheer numbers, Black Powder's world seemed to mess up even more people. Quantitatively, at least. So I figured, how much more dangerous could a video game that's rated E for everyone be?
Well, luckily, you'll all have me along with you, and I know a lot about the game. But if games were meant to be easy, well, I guess there are some games that are really easy, but...
Well, do you have, like... I have played a few of your games, and I don't know if I remember this. Did you have a sidekick at some point?
I never had a sidekick exactly, but there are some games of mine where I have a rival who sometimes helps me, kind of like you and Tori.
You think that we're rivals for you?
No, you're rivals to each other.
Oh, yeah.
Me and Lado are kind of rivals where we don't really get along, but we'll help each other out when we need to.
I see. Yeah, right now Tori and I, we're all right, but not 100% okay. But I think that's because the plot needs it to be that way for right now, just to keep things spicy and interesting until some other opportune moment when that needs to change, if it ever needs to change.
I think it might change. I think it might change if we can get Tori her body back.
I think that stranger things have happened, weirder things have happened, especially from what I heard with Black Powder's world.
Yep, I was Frankie for a little while.
That must have been nice. Frankie's very powerful. Did you feel very powerful?
I didn't really get the chance to use that power, but...
Were you fully clothed?
I've always been clothed.
Oh, that must be the problem then. Frankie tends to be stronger when the less clothing he has. That normally is a thing too, right? In video games, like, especially for women, the less armor they're wearing, the more armor they actually have. Come to think of it, it's a little demeaning.
Yeah, I can't say that I've been in a lot of those types of games. I don't normally get invited, but I know what you're talking about.
So, you were able to know what it was like to be in Frankie's shoes, but Frankie hasn't 100% learned what life's like in your shoes, is what you're saying.
I mean, there's a chance that when we go back to my game, to my world, that I'll be lost. That I won't be me anymore.
Why do you think that?
Because that's what I was before I came here. I've been that way for longer than I can remember.
Well, I don't know, but I think that everyone changed whenever we went into their world, and for the most part for the better. The one instant where that change probably wasn't the greatest was mostly my fault, but other than that, for the most part, everyone else changed for the better, I think.
I know Black Powder's really down on himself right now, but he changed in a really good way, I think, at the end of his world.
Well, consider that if we were to go into your world this time, we're, what do they say? Introducing new variables. And maybe those variables might actually change how you behave in the new world.
I hope.
Sort of like new code. Sort of like an upgrade or a new DLC. That's right, think of us as DLCs that comes in to improve a game. Or, even better, think of it as a fan mod. You know how, people are like really upset because the game just doesn't behave the way that they think it should, because the fans think it should be a certain way, so somebody just goes in and mods it. Think of us like that. Think of us like a mod.
I haven't actually heard of that.
Really? You don't know about mods?
I mean, I gather that you're shortening the word modification, but
Yeah, was that not a thing back then in the 80s?
I
Maybe
mean,
not.
it was, but it wouldn't be the kind of thing to be printed in a player's guide, so that's why.
Oh, wait. Oh, wait. Wasn't there that thing that it was like this piece of hardware that you would take the cartridge and you would push the cartridge into it, then you would put that whole thing into the console, and that let you sort of modify the game a little bit.
Oh, are you talking about the Nintendo game Micah?
Oh yeah, that's right, the game Micah. Yes, that's right, the game Micah. A lot of people thought that that was cheating, but many people thought that it actually helped, them genuinely enjoy the games, because let's be real, the games back then were really hard. Really, really hard.
Yeah, that's what I'm worried about.
So, think of all of us as your game Micahs. We can help you be the change that you want to be, Lonic.
Well, I hope you guys all look out for me whenever we go in there, but if I do lose myself, I don't want things to be left unsaid. And I care about you, Sue. And I care about V. And I don't want you to get hurt.
That's very sweet, Lonic. I care about you too. We should watch out for each other then. That's why I brought up the whole sidekick thing, because in games that I've played where there's a sidekick, they never actually are able to die. Like, sure, they can fall off a cliff or something, but they always appear back, because they don't actually ever have a health bar. Normally it's the main character that has the health bar, but the side character, they just kind of, they go off the screen, they just come back again. So maybe we can be your sidekicks, and we'll be okay.
I've been thinking about what we'll need to do in my world, and I don't have a clue.
Well, we have to save your princess, right?
Saving the princess just resets the game.
So you don't want us to save the princess, then?
I think we have to change the way the game works.
Okay. So maybe I don't know how that's gonna happen, but sure, we can look into that, changing how the game works. Maybe make it so that the princess doesn't get kidnapped in the first place?
Something like that.
So don't ask for Star's advice then about that.
You hear Star, I heard that!
She says that I said that with love, really? Look, Lonic, how about when we go into this world, I will personally keep an eye and make sure that you don't turn into something that you don't want to be.
Well, I'm gonna change a few times in my world. Change is kind of what I do.
But when you change what you look like on the outside, does that necessarily change the things on the inside?
It depends on where my mind's at. Once I'm able to kind of control myself, then I can be me. But it takes, especially whenever I first get in, it's really hard to, whenever you're V'd, do you still have the same thoughts, or are there things that are different?
I always have the same memories because we are effectively the same person. It's just our personalities are a little different. And sometimes, I explained this before, sometimes I wake up in the morning and I just don't feel like being Veed, or I don't feel like being Sue. I just feel like I'm supposed to be the other person sometimes. It's hard to explain, really. So that I can't always control. So I can kind of feel like I know what you're talking about. It was really scary for me when I first had this curse. There was this monster, you see, this really evil creature called the Fractured Prune. Oh man, this one was vile. Its evil plan was to try to infect everybody's food in all of Gourmet City so that everyone had to go to the bathroom. That was probably the worst adventure that I had to go through. And its biggest plan to try to get me out of the equation was to take me to this... I was on vacation at the time, and there was this myth in the small village that I talked about, which basically had this thing called the Haunted Throne. Legend had it that it's haunted because a poor young man or boy died actually while sitting on the throne from terrible, terrible food poisoning, and his spirit ended up haunting said throne. And so they pretty much closed it up, locked it away from the public. But when I was fighting the Fractured Prune, I got hit pretty hard, and I really, 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 really needed to go to the little girl's room. So I broke open the lock to the throne. I didn't know what it was at the time, but yeah, that's when the curse happened. Turns out that the boy was this, young man that was really obsessed with playing children's cards games. Anyway, I eventually ended up defeating the Fractured Prune, but it came with a cost. So not only do I have this curse where I switch between a boy and a girl, but from that point forward, I also became allergic to any dish that is primarily purple in color. It causes me to have hives.
Oh.
Anyway, what was the point I was trying to make with that story? Well, first of all, I've never told that story to anyone. I told that to you first. So, yay, you should feel special. Second of all, I don't know, Lonic. I guess I told you because I feel really comfortable with you. Like, I know I've known everybody else for a very long time, and I am comfortable with everyone else, but I know, you seem really easy to talk to. You seem like for someone who says that they feel like they don't have control of themselves sometimes, you consistently seem to always have your heart on your sleeve.
You wouldn't have liked me in Black Powder's world.
Fair enough. But I don't know. The you that I know, I'm assuming this is the real you.
This is the main me, yes.
The real you, which is the important you, I like a lot.
If we do make it out of this, would you or Bede maybe want to watch a movie together?
And as soon as you say that, you start seeing the little heart icon with pluses next to it. You know how you're playing visual novels, like visual romance novels, and you see the hearts pop up with the plus signs? So you actually see that appearing. It doesn't seem like Sue notices it all, but you do see visually the hearts. Anybody who's watching their conversation, even if you're not listening in, you see the heart symbol.
I'm just imagining the way they do it in the first Fable.
Sure.
Where just randomly little hearts pop up above someone's head. They go bigger and
little
bigger
hearts
and
pop
bigger,
up. Yes.
Until
it
they
just grows
turn
bigger.
violet, and then it's okay, now you can propose.
Exactly. Right. It's not quite violet. Not
no,
quite,
that'd be a bit much for this conversation.
but normally, I guess in other visual novels I play, they pop up with the smiley faces if it's like friendly, but. And I'm gonna say that throughout the conversation, it has been like happy face pluses, but now it's like the heart starts to appear for the first time.
Oh.
And then she'll say, I would like that. I would like that a lot. I'm curious to see what kind of shows you're interested in, Lonic.
Most of the shows and movies in my world are just things that are on in the background. I think it'd be better if someone else chose.
Okay. I will give you some recommendations and we'll see if we can find your personal favorites. Because I think that's important. Do you think you'd be more into, I don't know, rom-coms? I know a few good rom-coms.
Rom-com?
Romantic comedies.
Oh! I thought you were talking about romantic computers.
That's probably a thing, maybe in Frankie's world. Although I don't really want to think about the logistics of that, but, you know, then again, we're talking about Victor and Frankie too. So anyway, not thinking about that. Yeah. Romance comedies. We'll try that. Those are fun.
Well, now we gotta get back from my world all safe and sound.
A little predictable, but I don't know. There's just something about it that is comforting. Well, I think I see Sam trying to gather people around, so...
And I see the tip of Star's hat behind the sofa cushion there. I see you, Star.
And Star say, you see me? And Star's like, excellent. Like, you know, now that they know this. Excellent.
Well, I'm glad we had this talk, Lonic.
Me too. I don't know why I feel afraid.
She tilts her head and says, well, we'll take it one day at a time. She'll hold out her hand.
Aw. Yeah, Lonic will take it. In fuzzy mode. That would be a rather rude awakening, just
and you will make your way towards wherever Sam is gathering. Meanwhile, Sue's giving a side eye at the living room rug as you pass by the living room rug.
Oh no!
All right, so as everybody's kind of gathering up in the upper floor for the morning, just call out to everybody, hey, Frankie, Reginald, Lonic, Star, Tori, Sue. Wow, it's a good change. I hope everybody had a good meal, good night's sleep. But I gotta say, I can only imagine how crazy Sue is, having spent as long as we spent on that cramped ship here. So it begs the question of where do we go next? We know Gourmet City is being attacked, which I gotta say I had some fun with. It was, like a dream, like an adventure. Frankie's got kids in trouble. It was like a Boy Scout trip. It was adventurous, fun, exciting. We know Star hasn't seen Stormy for a while, and it was very different, but almost like a dream, almost, just like playing pretend for some of us. And now I gotta say, I had different thoughts on what we'd get when we went to Tori's world, but I know Tori, I imagine, is excited to see Carmen some more. Well, I gotta say, I thought maybe be a little different, but I'm open to support you. I think we just came back from Black Powder's world, so there's no urgency there. I know Reggie is not antsy to get back, and nothing pressing in mind other than court, so I say we do it democratically and have a vote of where we go next.
Before we do that, maybe I should say something to all of you. I'm still afraid of what'll happen to me whenever we go back to my world. But if this is really a chance at getting Tori another life, maybe we should start with that. She's been trapped like that for quite a while. And I have, coming from where I come from, a lot of knowledge about my world, where we don't really know what comes next in any of the others. I can give you good guidance in mine. Assuming you guys can keep me from spiraling again, which I trust that you will.
We're gonna be his Micahs. Game Micahs.
I regret nothing!
I don't know what that means, but sure.
Yeah, what's a Micah?
It's this company that made these little cheating devices for...
They're not cheating devices. They just enhance the game so they're more enjoyable.
Well, I like Micah. It sounds nice.
Speaking of, I was going to tell you guys some about how my game world, my world where I come from, it's like this place. He kind of gestures to the library. Once we get to my world, there are lots of little worlds inside of it. And those different worlds play differently.
I feel like I've seen a movie like this once. Okay, Lonic, that'll be the first movie we watch together.
Okay. I'd like that. So the first world, World 1, is a platformer where we'd be running and jumping and doing stuff like that. And I know that Black Powder would struggle with that, but that's why we have the game Micahs.
Question for you. Where did you leave your game? Because we all kind of went back to right where we left. So we might do the same for you.
My game was about to reset whenever I left it. So we'd be probably going in at the beginning.
Okay.
Which means that the first thing is a fight against Dr. Ganvani that I can't win.
Although this time you won't be fighting alone.
Yeah, maybe this is the thing we change. We beat him from the beginning.
I mean, the reason that I can't beat him in the beginning is because he can't take damage. But maybe one of you will figure something out.
We all have crazy powers, so it's possible.
Tori, have you learned to possess people yet?
I haven't tried it yet, but maybe I can possess Dr. What's his face? Yeah.
Ganvani.
Ganvani.
Maybe. I've never had any kind of power like that before. Oh, that reminds me. Lonic is going to take his yo-yo and put it on the table. we've all just been kind of picking up these relics and just running along and not really thinking about what might be optimal. I thought it would be a good idea to put all of our cards on the table and figure out what would benefit who best. For example, my yo-yo can make people fly. I think that would be very handy on black powder, assuming he could use it. Then you wouldn't have to worry about jumping in the first level of the platformer. Then there's that device that allows you to stop time. It would probably be really handy for me to have that because I can do a lot in a short amount of time. And people using the wrong flavor balls, that's a bad idea. We learned why that's a bad idea, but at least now we know.
That mean I should leave my bitter flavor ball here?
Maybe.
No, I'll carry it for you. It's fine.
Yeah, if they're able to get you a new body there, then you can immediately take it back from Sam.
Yeah.
Sounds like a plan.
As long as Sam doesn't accidentally grab yours and activate it instead of his own.
I feel a little angry later on.
In a pinch, I could use the bitter flavor ball. It would have side effects, but it could potentially save us, and I don't have one of my own.
Yeah, you can use it. Just be prepared.
For bitterness.
For bitterness.
There is a 7th flavor ball, but like I said, we would have to go back to my world to pick that up.
Yep.
Cool beans.
And if we bring Tori back to life in my world, if getting an extra life works, then we'll want to have the flavor ball nearby. Oh, I just remembered. One of the rules of the first world is that your power-ups are locked behind collectibles. So whatever your greatest strengths are, you won't have them at the start of the world.
So what you're saying is Star, for example, can't use Starstorm until they pick up a power-up?
I don't think that they could use Starstorm. I also don't think that they'd be able to fly.
Well, that's no fun.
No.
But once you get the power-ups, you'll be at full power unless you get hit.
Don't get hit, power-ups. Got it.
And the other worlds, hopefully there'll be a chance for us to discuss things before we go to them. But I will say, if we go to my world, be careful in the final world. It's real dangerous.
Okay. Noted.
It's real dangerous because the game makers didn't have enough time to finish it right. And so things can happen, like you fall through the floor and fall forever.
Are you suggesting that the game developers released something buggy before they had a chance to fix everything?
Bugs are just part of the experience. But that last world is a bit buggier than the others.
Okay. Good to know.
And I don't know what I've never finished the final world. I'm not sure it's possible. But then I've never had any of you to help me before.
Only one way to find out.
We have a good track record so far.
You do. And there are some other fun things that I can talk if we do decide that that's where we're going to go.
Let me go fetch the flavor Senshi ball. I'll
Yep.
grab that. I'll probably notice, because I think Sam left like a necklace there earlier. I'll take note of that and remember to ask him another time about it. And hand it over to Sam.
Yeah, and I'll just pocket it.
Well, I vote that we go to Lonic's world then.
Me too.
Second or third.
Let's do it.
If Lonic's ready, then I say we go there.
Look at how democratic that was. Fantastic.
You're very chipper this morning, Sam.
Yes, that's very sus, Sam.
Sue like glares a little bit at
I don't know whether I should be proud of Sam or suspicious right now. Because it's a big step forward considering when we went to his world, but also it's just so not Sam.
Was
Sam's
suspicious.
Suspicious, yes.
Sam suspicious.
suspicious.
Reggie. Come on.
Samuel, come on.
Or we're using our real names. Okay.
Oh, I just think I've been calling Reggie a while now, right? It's been a bit.
You have at least.
Yeah.
I know there was a point in my development where they were going to give me a normal name, but
I like the name Lonic.
Unless there's something else you would rather be called, like you can always choose. But if you're happy with Lonic, we'll keep calling you Lonic. I'm
fine with Lonic. It's what I'm used to.
Well, just for a split moment, when Black Powder suggested, we can give you a new name, a little text box appears that says rename screen, like rename screen to like rename your character, and it has LONIC, but like with the little cursor that shows that you can backspace and change the name if you want.
Enter. Default settings accepted.
Default.
Go Earthbound. Suggest.
Yeah. Okay. It sounds like we've made the decision, even though it is kind of suspicious.
I trust Sam.
I mean, Sam did propose a vote.
Thank you.
It's very diplomatic. I mean, unless you like rig a vote and then you cheat and win a vote, but
that never happens, surely.
No.
Well, that happened in my world. That's exactly what happened in my world.
Some people complain about that a lot, I think.
I'll trust you, Sam. But alright.
Well, here we go. Lonic's gonna charge the bookmark with his electrical energy. Take off at the speed of sound. Bright lights, colors all around. I'm running wild, living fast and free. Got no regret inside of me. And Lonic jumped through the portal.
So you'll throw the bookmark in before you jump into the portal. This big text box appears again, and then it says, "Are you sure you're ready to go to Lonic's world now? Make sure you have all of your affairs taken care of before entering." So it's almost like in those games where this is the point of no return.
Yeah.
Are you sure?
Suicide mission for Mass
select your
Yes or
difficult
no?
level.
Yes.
Difficult level selected.
Leaving the Harbinger in KOTOR.
Yes. So do you select yes, Lonic?
Yep,
Would you like to save your progress before going?
always.
Yes or no?
You can never
Yes?
save
Okay.
enough.
Save your progress. Okay. You do that, and then the portal opens. And the entire room, again, floods with the liquid, the silvery liquid from the fountain, as normal. And then everything around you goes black, just like normal. And then everything starts to get clear. Everything starts to lighten up and get clear. But now everything looks very pixelated. First of all, everyone's very pixelated. And you all, for the most part, look the same, other than the pixelation. But there are some subtle changes, at least for some of you visually. So, first of all, Tori, as long as you're in this world, you cannot face Lonic directly.
Oh,
so
no.
you know how the the booze in Super Mario, like the ghosts can't face him. So if you were to face Lonic, you just have this urge to just cover your face, like shyly cover your face.
Fun fact about those boos. You know, they're actually based on the passive-aggressive wife of one of the original Mario devs.
Oh no!
I did not know about that. So, you might, if you're trying to like follow the group, you might have to go like this because you can't face your head. At least your head can't face him, but you can still walk in his direction.
Sure.
But you can't.
Gotta have to put her on some sort of like rope.
Right?
get a wagon. Okay, so you can't face Lonic. That's the one thing. The second thing is both Frankie and Black Powder. You, for some reason, turn well. Frankie's already blue. Black Powder turns bluish, and you all have health bars above yourselves. And for right now, I'll say that that's all you visually see that's different. For Star, nothing visual with you, but if you ever say anything, you have to begin everything with, hey, listen.
Oh, no.
Everything has to start with, hey, listen. Hey, listen. Because you're very fairy right now. As for Sam, he has changed the most. So, he's no longer black and white. He's just black. I don't know, Joe, if you've played Super Smash Brothers, but Mr. Game & Watch. So basically, you are the Sam version of Mr. Game & Watch. And we'll see if this gets super annoying or challenging, but for the time being, at least, to start off, you can't say anything other than beeps and boops and whistles and ringing bells, just like Mr. Game & Watch. So you can't really say much of anything at the moment.
So much fun. Oh my god.
Yes.
Lonic is still in his platformer form, so he's still a hedgehog.
He's still a hedgehog. The biggest change with Sue is that she is two-dimensional. And yes, I'm going with the whole romance visual novel thing with her. So she when she moves, she doesn't actually like animate. She just kind of goes, she just, and it's like everything, like all of her poses. There's only like a limited number of poses that she has. So just know that, and her face, I think visual novel is what Sue is right now.
Cannot wait to see what editing you do with this.
Oh my god, yeah. 8-bit fantasy.
Now it's time for this world to destroy us all! Destroy us all!
As far as your immediate surroundings, so you actually appear right where your playthrough left off when you had just beat the boss, the wolf. You had just beat the werewolf at the end of like stage 1. So you're in the city, because I think you're like in the fantasy version, like the star version of a city, basically was where you were, and you had just defeated the wolf. The wolf, as you appear, the wolf like fades away, because that's what the video games tend to do. It's just gonna it like disappears into nothing. And Lonic, you see a sign that says, "This way to stage 2."
Please tell me that this is like the old beat 'em up signs. It's just like go, 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 go.
Yeah, exactly. It's like a little gloved hand that goes ding, ding, move forward.
Well,
I feel lighter, Sue says.
Hey, listen! There's an arrow over there!
I'm sorry.
Maybe before we follow that, we should take stock of where we're all at. Sam?
Did Sam just turn into a mime?
I think he's... What was that character called? He's become like, Mr. Calculator.
This.
I don't understand what that means. You look like a shadow.
You're like all black. You're like completely black.
Yeah, like,
And you're two-dimensional, she says.
Shadow.
I can't even try to read his lips anymore. This is terrible.
Oh, well, I guess that's a good thing. Black powder doesn't notice any difference.
And then Star will go in front of Sam and say, "Hey, listen. Do you have a notepad?"
Sam! I'm sorry, Sam.
So Sam's animation is very much again like Mr. Game & Watch. It's not fluid. So like Mr. Game & Watch, you have like just random things that you can just pull out, like random objects. So if you want to, Mr. Game & Watch style, you can like hold up a pencil, like a pencil-looking thing.
We have a deaf and a mute. And a fairy that keeps saying, "Hey, listen," but even though Black Powder
That's
can't
normal.
listen.
Tori, what are you looking at?
Look
We're
at you
over
guys,
here.
right?
We're over here.
I
We're over here.
Now this
I-
is a miss.
I can't look over there.
What,
He's-
what
She's a spookums.
what the hell does that mean?
That means
Oh
that
yeah, I'm a spook. But why can't I look at you guys?
if she looks directly at us, then she gets embarrassed. in front of her.
She can't look directly at Lonic specifically.
Yeah, but Lonic doesn't know that.
Just so just out of character, you know, she can still look at everyone else but
I'll
Lonic,
try to like walk around so I'm standing in front of her.
which works. You can face her then.
Everything
Yes.
okay?
Yeah, I just can't look at Lonic.
So weird. I mean, are you trying to say something? Like I can't
not
look and
trying to look
I can't.
No, this is. I'm not trying to look away from Lonic. I can't look at Lonic. Anytime.
Physically?
Yeah.
Lonic, what did you do to her?
She's a spookums.
I think it's the
What does that
world.
mean?
What does that mean, Lonic?
It's a type of enemy or not enemy. It's a type of character in the game that they're ghosts. I think they're quite cute, but they can't look directly at me because they get embarrassed.
Embarrassed of what?
I don't know. I've never asked one of them.
You'll see text above that says, "Tori will remember that."
Do you have another one of those red bars above your head? Like when Lonic first joined and thought you were a boss?
Well, that's because you're both sub bosses.
I beg your pardon.
That makes sense. You're a pirate, and he's a robot monster thing.
Ex-pirate, thank you.
I don't know if the game knows that yet.
Well, that's its problem, not mine.
Well, as long as it doesn't try to make us fight you, then I don't see anything wrong with it.
What happens if... I'll give it a try. Hold on. So, just humor me. So, Sue's going to go up to Black Powder, and then she's just gonna tap Black Powder on the shoulder. Like, just touch Black Powder.
He just
Okay.
like stares at her.
That's good. So, I can touch Black Powder, nothing happens. So that's good. Lonic, do you want to try?
Yeah, sure. I'll try.
So Lonic, are you gonna if you want to, you can reach out.
Yep.
You'll just reach out and touch Black Powder, and then you'll hear a tick kind of thing as you take roll me a 1d6.
Oh.
That's how much damage you take.
Oh lord,
Touching
that's
Black
a
Powder.
lot for Lonic.
Actually, I'm sorry, not a 1d6, that's too much. Do a 1d3. 1d3. Do a 1d3.
Yeah.
That's too much.
I wish I still had my chips.
Oh, that's right. We should have taken some. Maybe we'll find a power-up or something.
That rotten crewman of yours ate my chips, Black Powder.
He's a thief.
Star, can you heal?
Hey, listen. I can heal you. And Star will be like fluttering around Black Powder.
Oh no! Star, I love you, but this is gonna get old real fast.
Hey, listen. I have no control over it.
Oh, look here, mister.
You know, for the sake of variety, you could spice it up with a hello every once in a while.
Or add an extra listen. Hey, listen!
Right? Hey, listen. Oh my god. Oh my goodness.
Oh, Lordy Lou.
Right. Oh, hold on, I'm trying to.
Yeah, roll your healing if you'd like. Hi, Brody. Go ahead and have lunch, Brody.
Outside.
You had fun outside? Okay, that's good. Alright, have lunch, Brody.
Yeah.
Sorry about that.
Brody's adorable.
Yes.
Thank you.
I succeeded, yes.
Okay. So yeah, you can fly over, and it's like the Link fairy animation. Just sprinkle some fairy dust, and that can heal up Lonic to full.
Oh, you're talking about Link to the Past. Gotcha. Okay. I was like, there is no fairy animation in the
When Star moves, does he just turn into a little pink ball and then turns back into full Star when he's standing still?
Actually, what ends up happening is when after Star's done what he's doing, he actually shrinks back down and he ends up in a bottle. And the bottle falls to the ground. So right now, Star is a fairy in a bottle at the moment.
Pick him up. You need to stop getting shrunk.
Hey, listen. I have no control over this. I have no control. I feel like I'm back in my world being kidnapped again. Oh well.
At least this time it's by friends.
True. Oh, hey, listen. That's true.
I'll just put the jar in my pocket, I guess.
So that glove thing is starting to get a little annoying right now.
Yep, we should
just
go.
so you know. So all of you will head off screen, and then there'll probably be music like end of Super Mario Brothers 3. Da 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 da. And then Lonic will do a pose at the end of that. Yeah, what's Lonic's pose?
Wait, the figurine pose.
That's true. So, you will then suddenly see a map, again, like Super Mario Brothers 3 like map, and you'll see a path open up, and one path will go to stage 2, but the other path goes to this house. At least it sort of looks like it's a house that's shaped like an eggplant.
Or your friend. The eggplant.
Eggplants!
The eggplant
Hey.
friend from the game.
Do we all have to advance as a group? Because I know at least one person here would really struggle with that.
Yes. You'll see Sue starting to feel a little itchy just looking at the big giant eggplant house thing. Maybe I'll stay back here while you guys go inside.
You hear Star from inside Black Powder's pocket. Hey, listen. We should go to stage 2.
Pull the jar out so Star can look at everyone.
Oh, okay, stage 2 instead?
You don't want to go to the house?
I don't know.
Oh,
We could go either way. Lonic,
Maybe
where should we
splitting up
go?
It's always helpful whenever you're given a split path to take the option that seems less likely to advance you in the game further first.
So,
The house?
The eggplant?
Eggplant
I
house?
think that would be the best place for, at least for some of us to go, just to see if it unlocks a new path or any abilities.
Okay.
maybe a few people can go and then someone can stay here with Sue. That way they're not just stuck alone waiting again. Question, the way to the eggplant place, do you know if it involves a lot of jumping?
It shouldn't. But if it does, you have the yo-yo. Oh!
I've never used one of these things in my life.
It's easy. To fly with it, all you have to do is twirl it over your head.
I'm not trying that right now.
Or you could always just cheat.
That's more my style.
Sorry, I'm watching Sam on the corner of my eye. His poses is very, very entertaining. Yeah. Make sure you keep watching Sam's corner because he's great. He's doing a really good job with this.
Oh, no.
Okay, so who's staying? If anyone wants to stay with Sue, who's going to stay? Just out of curiosity.
Lonic will stay with Sue if no one else will.
Star will stay.
Star will stay. Okay.
I want to go to the
Star in a
house.
jar. Star in a jar.
Yeah.
I'll hand the jar to Sue.
Sure.
Star will stay and Lonic will stay. And Lonic will kind of not... He won't touch black powder because that hurts. Black powder. In order to cheat in my game, all you have to do is tell a joke.
Oh, well, then I'm screwed.
What do you mean tell a joke like knock knock? I know those. It's a house, it's funny.
Fun, Frankie.
That's just a very different sense of humor than some of you.
Well, it's not necessarily that you have to get us to laugh. You just have to tell a joke.
Okay,
And then that'll activate a cheat. But
You're full of dad jokes, Black Powder. You can figure something out.
Yeah, but that's usually in a response to somebody else. That's the beauty of a dad joke.
Okay, so we go, I play the son, you play the dad.
yeah!
Yeah.
Alright.
Take the house. I start with knock knock and then we go do dad jokes from knock knock.
Who's there?
Yeah, who the hell he just... I don't know, just say something that dad would say.
Hey, listen. Who's there?
We'll work on it. It's fine.
Knock knock, who's there? Keep the door closed. You don't pay the electric bill.
I mean, to be fair, technically speaking, I wouldn't be able to hear anyone knocking.
And that's why I'm miming knock.
Okay, so everyone except for Lonic, Star, and Sue are going to the house, correct?
Yes.
Okay. Alright, so the rest of you go to the house. Frankie's gonna knock. Nobody answers, but as you knock, the door opens slightly ajar, so it doesn't seem unlocked. It just opens slightly when you're knocking on it.
We didn't need a joke.
Let's go in. And Tori will go in.
Go up.
Yeah, you'll open the door, and the house is very empty. However, you do see three large treasure chests in the house, and there is this floating eggplant-looking thing, just like you saw in the video game, and with a big face. And the eggplant turns to your direction and goes, "What are you doing? You can't just barge into people's houses uninvited! Only the main character can do that! Rude!"
I knocked first. You did not hear it? Black Powder, you're not the only one deaf.
Apparently.
Where's Lonic? Has he saved Princess Tangerine yet?
Not yet. He's waiting outside. He sent us first to knock and go inside for him.
Aren't you a boss fight, though?
Aren't you a vegetable?
Black Powder's just so confused and I love it.
They're not bosses anymore. They converted.
You can do that?
Yeah.
You're not using a Micah, are you?
No.
Us never.
Oh,
I don't
okay.
even know what that is.
Well, so did Lonic send you?
That's
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Well, this is a bit unorthodox and not normally how we do things, but since I'm really tired and need to get things moving along, I'll just go with it. Here, choose a box. Its contents will help you on your way.
Is there one that's better than others?
Probably. I haven't looked inside these boxes in years. I've just been sitting in this house by myself waiting for Lonic to show up. So now that you're here, I have to say, it's a little underwhelming.
I think you might need to
Are we
get
able to
out
go
more often.
inside of the treasure chest to see what's in them?
Raise the OP ability to the test, yeah. Can you go in?
Are you gonna? Okay, so you're gonna phase into one.
Yep, just to see.
Sure. All right. So Ghost Tori is gonna phase into one, but as soon as you touch the treasure chest, it automatically opens up, and out pops up a power up.
Oh.
There are 6 of you. So Adam, do the honors of rolling me a 1d6 because there's 6 of you, and I'm just gonna go in the order that I see you on the screen right now. /R space 1d6. 4? Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, Thistle. Come up with any random object that could remotely be used as a power-up, or could remotely symbolize a power-up. It doesn't matter what it is. Just come up with any random. Let's keep it E for everyone, of course. So, E for everyone, object, please.
A skateboard.
A skateboard! Perfect! Okay, so you'll see a skateboard pop up. And anyone from the audience who wants to give a suggestion is what does the power-up do? What does the skateboard let you do? Anyone?
There's an old NES game, I think it was called Skate Kid, where skateboard, the power-up allows you to change your walk into a run, and it allows you to grind on very specific rails. So it helps with your platform, at the cost of not being able to slow down.
Cool. And maybe you could do like cool things where you can like, if you move fast enough, you could like skate along the walls or something.
Yeah.
Like some people do. A little bit of like parkour-ish kind of thing. Okay, so it'll blink and appear, and even though Tori opened the treasure chest, nobody has actually touched to claim the power up. So anybody who wants to claim the power up may, at this point, who's there present.
Ooh. Who wants this?
Somebody take it. This is the only reason of my existence here. Give me some meaning, please. Oh, you can take it, Mr. Calculator. Oh, and by the way, it's an honor to meet someone like you. I'm your biggest fan.
Poor Sam!
Mr. Calculator goes over and takes the skateboard, and he absorbs it so that now the skateboard is completely black, and Sam looks like he gets like knee pads, elbow pads. He's got a helmet now, so he looks like Sam, but Skater
And
Sam.
it's hilarious.
I never thought I would imagine Skater Boy Sam.
Love it.
Skater Boy Sam.
I don't know why, Harp, when you were describing that, my first thought was, he looks like Sam, but lumpier. Because you would just see the blacks. It'd just be like random tumors for the elbow pads and knee pads.
So sus.
So Sam, you have the ability to move faster, and you have a little bit more maneuverability along rails and walls and stuff, which might be helpful later. Sweet. All right. Well, everybody out. Thank you. Come again to somebody else's house.
Hey.
Oh.
The eggplant kills me.
You leave Todd's house, or one of the Todds. There's multiple Todds in this world.
You leave
You
the
leave
Todd
one of the
house?
Todd's house. Yeah, the Todd house. And we will continue in the next session.
Oh, Lordy Lou.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, now I got Super Mario Brothers 3 theme. Like,